I want to save you a lot of money. So I'm going to tell you the one thing I wish that every company would do before they make a big investment in a marketing asset, like a website, like an ad campaign, like landing pages, branding, design, all of this stuff we can throw a bunch of money at hoping it'll solve the problem. And I'm not saying they won't, but I am saying that if you don't do this one thing first, you are likely to be disappointed in the results and have to blow it up and start over. And that thing that I want you to do before you make a big marketing investment is sort your messaging out. And by messaging, I mean, do you have the words, the exact language to explain your brand, who you're trying to serve, and then each and every one of your offers and what the ideal client is going to get out of that offer? Like, how does it get them closer to a goal? How does it make a goal they didn't even know was possible for them possible thanks to this awesome thing you provide, etc., etc., etc. Do you have the actual language, the wording to explain each and every aspect of your brand? Do you know your brand's identity? Do you know who you're even going to be talking to in your marketing? Because you would be surprised at how many people don't. I will ask them and they'll give me word salad, and yet they've already dropped like 10K on a website. I can't tell you how many companies have had to completely tear apart a website and rebuild it because they built it without a clear vision first. So you really need to be clear on your vision first, otherwise you're just going to be like throwing shots in the dark out there. Marketing is not going to feel cohesive. It's not going to build on strong brand recognition. It's going to seem fragmented. It's going to make it harder to build that know, like, and trust that we need for customers to feel safe making any sort of financial, time, energetic investment in working with us, buying our products, taking our courses, etc. So how do you sort out the messaging, right? It sounds simple, but this is the stuff we struggle over. Like, if you had to pitch your offer in one sentence, what would you say? This gets people in their heads. It's hard to look objectively. It brings out a lot of anxiety because if you're going to say something in a short, sweet, concise way, that means there's a lot of fluff you have to cut out. You have to figure out what are the priorities, what's the most important part, what are we leading with? And that's hard. Like, the end product should be messaging that's simple, easy to understand. The people it's intended for should know right away it's intended for them. And it sounds simple, but this is people's entire jobs to come up with the way to do short, sweet, simple messaging that conveys so much with so little. So how do you, business owner, work that out? Well, first, before you start slapping together a website, throwing a bunch of money at ads, putting together a blog, any of that stuff, I suggest you look up something called a messaging framework. I actually have one you can buy on my website that is a DIY version. So if you want that, feel free to DM me and I'll send you the link. And it'll walk you through the one I do will walk you through so you have a chance to brain dump and like kind of synthesize your knowledge and put it together so that we have an easy way to explain the brand, each and every offer, the transformation, the customer, the result, your brand identity, what is the vision we're going for. And then we also consolidate all our more aesthetic, more feeling, more vibe type of stuff into the messaging framework as well. And so this is actually a service I offer. It's called the Brand Storytelling Package. And yes, you can find templates for messaging frameworks online. You can get mine if you want. But it's so hard to see yourself clearly. I, a messaging expert of like almost 10 years now, I always want other expert opinions on my messaging because it is so hard to be objective about yourself. So if you have a personal brand, I'm talking to you particularly. If you don't have marketing experience, if you're coming to this brand new, like you've always just been a creative or you've been an academic or you've been working in other companies where the marketing is handled for you, it is so hard to flip that switch in your brain where I'm not describing myself. Marketing is not my resume. It's not my credentials. It's how I make my ideal customer feel. It's how I make them understand that by investing in my product, service, course, what have you, they are going to get something they really want or didn't even know they were allowed to want, better yet. So you don't get word salad in marketing to hook your ideal customer and convince them this is worth it, because we've got real short attention spans. The internet is full of everything. So the reason why we need to have really powerful, concise, short, sweet messaging that like cuts out all the fluff and gets right to the point is because we need to know on a website, what's the header? What's the header at the top of the page to convince them that it's even relevant to them at all enough to skim, let alone read? What are your offers and how do we organize them so we don't immediately hit people with choice overload? Is the customer the same for each one of your offers, or is it different? And then how does that need to change the way you explain your offer to your various audiences? And then on the landing page or the sales page, again, you don't get much time. Most people don't read a landing page top to bottom. They like look at the stuff that's in the biggest print that the eye goes right to, that's at the top of the page. So how do you know what information needs to be in those places that they're definitely going to see that's going to convince them whether or not to keep reading, whether or not you're relevant? If you haven't put some significant thought into your messaging, like how would you know what to emphasize in the design and the copywriting? How would you know what to put in your content marketing, your calls to action, your advertising? How would you even know how to target your ads if you haven't worked out this stuff first? So please, before you make a major investment in marketing, sort out your messaging first. Have a clear vision, have a clear thing to say, have a clear way to appeal to your ideal customer's desires. And please, please, please know who the customers you want are. You got to know who you want your customers to be in order to market effectively to them. Otherwise, you're just kind of shouting into the void. And again, I have seen so many clients come to me after spending 10, 15K on website templates, 10 steps to 10K type programs, and being like, it's still not working. Why? I like filled in the blanks and filled in the gaps for all these things they told me to do and it's not working. And I'm like, because you don't know your messaging. You know someone else's. You got someone else's framework, but that is not your secret sauce. That is not your raison d'etre. That is not your messaging. We need to pay attention to your messaging first. Now, I know this can feel a little nervous because a lot of people want to get right to the doing stuff, the putting stuff out there, because they feel like that's the fastest way to get the kind of revenue they want. Unfortunately, just throwing stuff out there without a clear vision, without clear messaging, without, the magic behind the words is not going to get a lot for you. A messaging framework, having a good one that hopefully you work with someone like me to make sure it is good and will work, is going to save you so much time and effort because it forms the foundation of your marketing house. So when you have your messaging together, you get your website right the first time instead of having to blow it up and redo it a billion times. I mean, all our brands evolve, so we are going to have to update stuff, and our identity might evolve. So yes, there is some maintenance and normal evolution that's going to happen, but it's with your messaging sorted out first. Even if your messaging is great and you can't afford a designer or a copier yet, but you have great messaging, dude, those pages are still going to convert. They are going to convert so much better than if you spend the money on design without knowing what information to highlight or who you're talking to. So, sort your messaging out first. This is the most strategic way to go for your marketing. If you could use some help with that, I am here. Like I said, if DIY is the way to go right now, I can send you my little workbook, but I highly recommend you check out the brand storytelling package. This is going to get you where you want to go so much faster. We will have a high impact messaging strategy session. I will go put together a messaging framework for you. I will do up to 3 for you so that you absolutely love your messaging. You can't wait to share it. And then the great part is whoever helps you with your marketing moving forward, you can hand them that messaging framework, and it's like a just add water version of your brand. I'm so sorry for the background noise. My neighbors just got a puppy. I actually had one client tell me it cut down her onboarding time and training time by more than half, because rather than having to individually explain the brand and each offer to each VA social media manager, copywriter she brought out on for marketing support, she could just hand them this messaging framework, which was real nice for her, because like, who doesn't want to get a ton of time and energy back to go do other stuff? The other thing that is great about it is you can pull, since I am giving you literally the exact words, how to say it in a short, sweet, concise way that's going to speak right to your people and right to the spot where they are most excited. You can pull language from this messaging framework directly for your website, your sales pages, your social media, your ad copy, etc. So it saves you a lot of time and effort there as well. So, special going on right now. All the information for the brand storytelling package, Onyx, that is the worst time to do that, bud. Okay. Is, all the info for the brand storytelling package is in my link in bio. And, oh, come on, bud. So the first person to check out gets a special prize right now, which is a website checkup where I will tell you exactly how to optimize your website to make the messaging more effective, more user-friendly, easier to navigate. And that is value $500. You also get professional copywriting for 2 web pages, either 2 sales pages or a sales page and an about page, because I find founders have the hardest time doing their own story justice. The second person to check out the brand story package, I mean like buy it, gets the website checkup, 1 page of professional copywriting. And the third person to check out the brand storytelling package gets the website checkup at no additional cost. And if you want a little taste of what it's like working with me, my approach to messaging, why this is going to get you results so much freaking faster, I've got a free masterclass on next Monday, March 11th, 2024, called Know Exactly What to Say to Sell. You are very welcome to register at the link in bio. All right, that's all for today. Thanks, folks.